Yo, yo, it's Michael. The dude's been training for Big Ben 100K, and the race is over. It went terribly, but I finished, and that was goal C, just finish by any means necessary. So let me break it down real quick. I figure I have to make a final video of what went down at the race. So we're still packed, haven't even unpacked from the race. Have my Topo Mountain Racer 3s. That's what I wore throughout the entire race. I thought I was gonna wear the Mount to Coast, but I just chose to go with a little bit more cushion. But yeah, so got to Big Ben, slept in the tent, was great except for the freezing cold and wind. That makes it hard to sleep, even though we got there on Friday. The race is not till Sunday. Just chilled all day Saturday, tried to eat up the sun as much as we could. And then, is this recording? Okay, I wasn't gonna do this whole thing again. Got to bed early, tried to get to bed early. I think I finally fell asleep maybe about 9, woke up at 3. It was freaking freezing getting out of the tent, and the wind, it was still a little windy. So not the best sleep. Next time, definitely Airbnb if it's gonna be cold in a place like Big Bend. Got to the race, everything was good to go. 3, 2, 1. I look down, and I don't have a timing chip on my ankle like everybody else does. So I take off running to the table, throw on my chip. So I start like a minute or two late. Doesn't really matter. It does matter, because now I'm thinking, fuck, I gotta pass all these people to get to a position where I want to be in. And so I ran a lot more early on than I thought I would, even though I kind of knew I would do something like that. It's hard to start your 2 1s or 3 1s walk runs that early into a race. Plus it was freezing. You know, you kind of want to warm up anyway. We were doing pretty good, right on track. My arm's getting tired. We'll do this. And then I started noticing my right knee was hurting a little bit, the outside of my right knee. And I started noticing this before the sun's even up. So I'm like, shit, this is a real issue here. It's snow here in Texas, so that's cool too. Anyway, we started feeling some pain in the knee. Once the sun came up, I made it to, I had left the drop bag with my vest and everything in it. 17 miles in, so I was just gonna run handheld only. That worked out fine. That was a good plan, all in all. But on the road to get to that aid station, I realized, like, shit, man, my knee really hurts. And I know it's an IT issue because I've dealt with it with my left knee, and it was just super tightness. So I was able to run for like 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes, 30 seconds, and then I would have to stop and power hike. And that started about mile 15. So from then on, it was a straight battle. I took my ibuprofen at mile 17. So taking ibuprofen way too early in a race like that, it did help me. Took some caffeine there. It was going fine, not fine, but I was surviving. Got to a big section going into El Solitario, which was a crazy climb through boulders and all types of big rocks and loose everything. So that was crazy, and that took a long time. And then I met my boy Ty, and Ty and I basically stuck together for the entire second half of the race. 50K is about the point where we met. He was kind of struggling too. He had just gotten over the flu, so his race wasn't going as he would have liked. But yeah, we just stuck together. There was another group with us. I forget their names. Luciano was one of them. He was awesome. But there was about 4 or 5 of us that were just, you know, struggling out there together. And then everyone kind of broke up, and me and Ty just kind of stuck together. We were at that same pace, and I think we both knew, like, hey man, there's no pacers in this race. So we're now like 40, 45 miles in. The sun's going down. We're out of energy. I can barely run. It was a shit show, honestly. But we made it a good time. We talked about all kinds of things. And he's my boy now, so, you know, if my race went as I planned, I would have never met Ty. So I gotta look on the bright side of things. Yeah, so it's already getting dark. I didn't have my headlamp. You know, it's getting, now we're about 50 miles in. But, you know, those last 50 through the dark and cold, you know, it got pretty crazy. Like, I didn't have a lamp, so I had to follow behind Ty, and there's so many rocks. But anyway, we finished the fucking race. It took me 16 and a half hours, something like that, when the goal was 12, and the second goal was about a 14-hour race, because that would have been the sun going down. But yeah, it sucks. I think it's an IT issue. I think I mentioned that already. We got to fix that. I'm already out slowly running. I was able to run 3 miles today, but it starts hurting pretty quickly. So we finished the race. You know, it was a really tough course. Big Bend is a motherfucker, but we may go back. I don't know. I don't think I want to go out like that, but I don't want to talk about another race or nothing, because I talked all kinds of, you know, I talked a lot about this last race, and we see how that worked out. So just gonna get the knee healthy. There's a 50 miler in April. That's really all I gotta say. So let's fucking go. Never stops.